On this episode of MythBusters, Adam and Jamie unleash a deadly myth from Supermax Prison.
Are we going to try and shoot him in the head?
Find out who's the origami swami in a build-off to make a lethal crossbow out of paper.
You can't keep me in here, copper. I'm gonna get out.
And while they slug it out, Tori, Grant, and Carrie knock them back
That's terrible, they're drunk.
as they get the measure of some more vodka myths.
Can I get a little privacy? Jeez.
Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage, Jamie Heineman,
Aren't tracer rounds illegal?
Tori Balachi,
Science is fun.
Carrie Byron,
That's what I did today.
and Grant Imahara.
You guys ready for this?
Between them, over 50 years of special effects experience.
That's what I'm talking about.
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
This one straight from the fan site.
And I am indebted to the fan site. This is an awesome myth. The story goes that at the federal Supermax prison in Marion, Illinois, an inmate fashioned a crude crossbow using only newspaper, parts of his food tray for the tip, and the elastic from his underpants as a bowstring. And he was able to use this crossbow to shoot and kill a fellow inmate from across a hall.
Yeah, I like this myth too. I mean, I've always had a fascination with crossbows. I've had this one since I was a teenager. That's why there are no cats left in the neighborhood.
I could just see you. Why, thank you, Father.
At any rate, the first thing we need to do is find a list of the kinds of things that inmates actually have access to, because there are limitations, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Before they get rocking with this jailhouse myth, they want to see if it's even feasible. So Adam volunteers to spend a day behind the wire at notorious Supermax facility, San Quentin.
Good morning.
You Vernell?
I'm Vernell. You are?
Adam Savage.
May I see your ID, sir?
Oh, yes. There you go.
Okay. Well, thank you. Welcome to San Quentin.
Thank you very much. Shall we go take a look at what you got?
Let's take a walk on inside.
All right.
This is our little one-horse town I wanted to show off to you, San Quentin.
This is all of this I'm looking at. This is the prison.
We sit on 440 acres. This is just a small part of it. It's only about 120 acres. You can see some of the new arriving inmates down there in orange. They just arrived at prison. That tall building with the stripes and the small set of windows across the top of it, that's your traditional death row.
With all the security, weapons are rare behind bars, right? Wrong. A trip to the prison museum shows just how wrong.
I know it's a personality flaw on my part, but I really enjoy this part of the area. This is our the area where we keep the various types of creative contraband that inmates have created inside the prison.
My God, I'm just looking at it without any explanation. I'm astonished by the level of ingenuity.
For starters, how about a gun made entirely from plumbing parts?
Fires a .32 caliber round. It's a semi-automatic bolt action. And that device you see on the front, that's actually a flash guard.
Oh my God.
Adam's impressed. Inmates will use anything and everything to fashion a weapon, including, you've guessed it, newspaper.
Now that looks like a paper spear, like newspaper, am I right?
Well, exactly, it is newspaper, and what they did is they created it, made it into a shaft. On the end, that's actually,
Yeah.
that's a styrofoam cup.
No.
Tempered styrofoam arrowheads, candy wrapper blow darts, restroom revolvers. Perhaps a paper crossbow is not beyond the bounds of reason.
I'm looking at this newspaper spear, and I'm looking at that crossbow. Have you guys ever had anyone build a crossbow or arrow weapon out of paper only?
Well, paper crossbows I have seen, but not as common. They will normally take the underwear elastic, they'll braid it together, tie one end to each of the cell bars, and then pull it back and wait for you to walk past and then shoot the projectile at you.
So, confirmation of one part of the myth. Underpant-powered weapons are used in prison. Not surprisingly, high-risk inmates at San Quentin are no longer sporting tidy whities.
So the very myth that we're investigating here is actually the reason that you guys restrict elastic waistbands to a portion of the prison population.
We restrict those inmates that have proven to be a threat to staff safety because they will create dangerous property from it.
Vernell, really, thank you so much for showing me around. Do you have the key to let me out of here?
I do have the key, yes, I have.
Can you get the key?
I could have, yes.
Can you get the key right now?
Freedom tastes sweet, and Adam's taste buds are tingling for this murderous myth. Meanwhile, his partner in crime is on the hunt for some killer briefs.
So, Tim, I'm looking for some prison-style underwear. Now, do you know what that would typically be?
I would think it would be the most basic of basics. No drums, no whistles. So I would think that would be what you're looking for prison. I mean, I have some other styles, but I don't think the government is going to give it to prisoners.
While Tim searches out his most austere undies, Jamie rummages among some styles that prisoners can only dream about.
Got your camo underwear. Oh, and that's lovely as well. That certainly makes a statement. I'm not sure what exactly, but you think we could call this standard prison issue?
Well, you might get locked up for wearing them, but prisoners go plain.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to separate the elastic out of these strips, but I guess if you're in prison, you got lots of time.
I would say, and necessity also being the mother of invention.
Well, I think we're all set, Tim.
There you go, sir.
We came here to get some prison-style undies, and that's what we got. Unfortunately, all of the underwear seems to be made of lots of little fine fibers of elastic instead of some big butch strands, which was kind of what I was hoping for. But hey, it'll take a little more time. What are you gonna do?
Jamie makes tracks back to M5, where he finds that another lethal crossbow component has been delivered.
Wow.
Prison issue dinner trays.
Now, we can only use these for making the tips.
The myth is called paper crossbow. You can't build the bulk of it out of this thing.
I don't know, it's kind of springy.
So they've got the materials for both bowstring and arrowhead. Now for the sticky bit.
You know, there's one aspect to this myth that we have yet to deal with, and there's no information on it. It's glue.
Yeah, if they had super glue, they could make something equivalent to fiberglass even.
Well, I mean, I think in order to maintain the spirit of the home-built crossbow, we really should look at some kind of homebrew glue, something we made with readily available materials.
Sure, there's got to be something out there.
If the glue doesn't hold, the paper crossbow will fall apart. Add with it the myth. So the guys decide to try out 4 different homemade varieties. There's casein glue, made from milk, vinegar, and baking soda.
I haven't really ended up with a glue.
It's more of a paste.
Then there's glues made from plain flour,
Oh, not too much, not too much.
white flour, and the hot favorite, gelatin and glycerin.
I like this the best. I mean, personally, I think that's the most promising.
To test their stickability, Adam whips up some simple rigs.
I want to test the relative strengths of each of them. So I've made up a test rig, which is comprised of 2 pieces of wood, a handle, and a sheet of newspaper in between.
He glues each of the 4 rigs together with a different glue. Then leaves them to set in a drying cabinet.
I think my glue tests have dried, and now it's time to do some strength testing on them.
First up on the fish scale, flour and water.
That was 25 pounds of force. That's actually kind of impressive.
Test number 2, flour, water, and sugar.
2, 3.
Also 25 pounds.
This is the casein glue. Yeah, 21 pounds. I mean, it was more like a paste than anything else. It just really didn't do it. Last but not least, my personal favorite, the gelatin glue. 36 pounds.
We have a winner.
I couldn't quite hang off of that, but that's pretty darn good. It is a bookbinding glue, and it definitely looks the nicest.
Finally, there's the control test, wood glue. It's been a while since Adam hurt himself on the show, but this setup has potential. Yep, business as usual. 60 pounds of force across the knuckles is going to sting a little.
That hurt.
Vodka is an ancient Russian beverage long popular for keeping up the spirits in a hostile climate. But many a tall tale has been spun around the legendary drink. And over several weeks, the MythBusters are testing some out.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay.
In previous episodes, they proved that vodka can remove even the worst foot odor. And that it's a match for the foulest breath.
That burns.
Yeah, cinnamony, actually.
Now they're testing some more vodka myths. First up, vodka smoke remover.
I'm working on a vodka myth. The myth is that you can make a vodka water solution, spray it onto your clothes that smell like smoke, and it should take the smoky smell out. Anybody who has dated a smoker or knows a smoker knows that their clothes really smell bad. So this might be a really nice cure for them.
Down the years, washing powders have promised more than just clean clothes. They've promised a kind of heaven on earth.
That's the promise.
What a wonderful sight when you're...
But can vodka work miracles with smoke-infested laundry? Carrie's going to try and get more from her wash with a splash of the hard stuff.
One of the links in this, though, is that you're supposed to spray the vodka mixture and then launder your clothes. I kind of think that washing your clothes would get that smell out anyway, but maybe this will get it out better.
To kick things off, Carrie creates an automated smoking machine.
I'm going to use a little siphon and make a little airtight tube, drill some holes, put some cigarettes in it.
You live in California, so they don't
honey,
smoke
they
it.
still smoke in California. You just have to go into the secret back rooms. Not that I know where any of the secret rooms are in the bars.
Speakeasies may be making a comeback, but Carrie's got the makings of her own smoke-filled room.
This is an airtight box that Tori built for another myth. We were doing a little experiment with explosive decompression. It's just big enough to hang 2 sweatshirts inside, get them saturated with smoke, so that we have something to test.
Sounds like a plan. In go the shirts, followed by Carrie and a lighter.
That was I should have worn a respirator for that.
Before her lungs can recover, there's an outbreak of passive smoking.
Last thing I want. Oh no!
Oi, got a leak over here too.
What happened to Tori's airtight box?
By the time she's done taping, her smoke box looks like Yul Brenner's bedroom.
Oh, they're almost down to the filter. I can still see some little red glowing lights right there.
I can barely see anything.
Smell like bingo night, some French foreign cinema kind of old lady bar.
And according to the myth, vodka's just the job to remove that stubborn smell. 2 days later, and the shirts are ripe for the picking.
They both smell like ashtrays. I'm gonna take them to the laundromat quickly. God, that is horrible. Okay, there we go. That would be 1 part vodka to 3 parts water.
Just one jacket will be sprayed with a vodka spritzer. The other will be the control.
Oh, that's horrible.
Well, it's just smoky. It's like you had, spent the night in a bar.
Yeah, that reeks.
Spent the night on the floor of a bar.
A quick product test, and it's wash time.
Okay, the vodka's going to be on the end. And this one, the smoky, will be to the left.
And now it's a waiting game. So here's a few tips on how to pass the time while the soap suds do their thing.
No, we're just working. We're gonna be here. Can I get a little privacy? Jeez.
And here's some more highlights of the drying cycle.
German surrealist painter starting with Z or Q?
Because you're the one who said. Is it done yet? Done.
Guys, look, it's done.
Done with a capital E.
Yay! Okay, you know what I'd like to do for this one? I'd like to do a blind smell test. So I'll have you turn around, and then Tori and I will
That's
switch
a good idea.
All right.
Grant is well established as the MythBusters olfactory expert.
This one has a slightly oaky smell.
Yeah.
Shirt sniff number 2, and what's the verdict?
So this is the better smelling one, right?
Yep. And it's the one that we sprayed vodka on.
Oh, hey.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, not that much better smelling, I want to say.
But
They
a
are
little better.
A little better.
The MythBusters are investigating the myth that an inmate at a Supermax prison was shot and killed by a paper crossbow when some intriguing footage arrives.
Check this out, Jamie. An official within the California prison system sent me this video of an inmate in the prison constructing and firing a crossbow-like weapon. Check this out.
The video was shot at Pelican Bay Prison in Northern California, where modern cells are designed for maximum safety.
Even so, some inmates find ways to hurt staff or each other. Here, an inmate shows how he constructed a sophisticated crossbow-type weapon from materials the state is required to give him. Elastic from underwear, a barrel and darts from writing paper rolled tightly, a plastic spoon sharpened as a lethal point. The weapon is engineered to fit through the door, making staff or other inmates a target.
That's nasty.
I think that the very first step is just to try and replicate that thing.
It's a tantalizing glimpse of a paper weapon in action. But is it a crossbow? There's only one way to find out. To stay true to the myth, Adam uses the homemade bookbinding glue. And the bowstring comes courtesy of their state-issue underwear, which is disappointingly low on power.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like what it does in the video.
I think it's because the fabric is really dampening it.
Yeah.
Jamie thinks that separating the rubber from the fabric will give more power.
I just have a hard time believing an inmate could pull all the rubber out of this sort of thing.
I don't have any problem with that at all. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
And patience, of which Adam has precious little.
Just a comment.
So while Jamie does the painstaking stuff, he bolts to make an arrow from plastic cutlery.
Where I'm using the sander, just picture someone rubbing it on the windowsill for a few hours. All right.
And this being the world of television, by the time he's done, so is the rubber band man. Round 2 with the liberated underwear elastic.
Yay!
Jamie, that was pretty good, man. That looks exactly like what the video showed.
Maybe, but it doesn't fulfill the myth.
This is a pretty serious little weapon. However, it's not what I would call a crossbow. This is more of a spear gun. So what we have to do now to follow the letter of the myth is actually build something that is a crossbow.
In other words, one of these. Plenty powerful enough to kill one of these. In the myth of the paper crossbow, Adam and Jamie are at Archery Only in Newark. They want to know more about what exactly they're going to be building a paper version of.
The main difference between a crossbow and a regular bow is that on a regular bow, the archer or the shooter is actually going to pull it all the way back to full draw and hang on to the weight physically. On a crossbow, you physically cock the mechanism back, and you can actually walk around with the weapon cocked and locked and ready to shoot, almost like a firearm.
Pretty good.
Have you heard the myth of a prison convict making a paper crossbow out of newspaper and shooting and killing another inmate with it?
I have not, no.
Do you think something like that would be possible?
I believe it is possible, but pretty unlikely.
Well, they call it a paper crossbow, so I think I'd like to do some tests and see how accurate and how much force this thing can apply.
So they know what they're aiming for. They want some hard data about crossbow performance in terms of accuracy, velocity, and penetration.
That's pretty good, Jamie.
But first, they need some info about the ammo, and Adam's found a new toy.
There's always the question of what I'm going to get for my toolbox before I leave. And this is it today. A scale. That is sexy. I am measuring the weight of crossbow bolts.
If you know the weight and velocity of a missile, you can work out its kinetic energy. One of the measurements for assessing a weapon's killing capacity.
And it's 28 grams.
Now for the velocity. Jamie fires off some bolts through a chronograph, which clocks their speed in feet per second.
That was 259 on that first shot.
259? 259. So, Jamie, your average on those 3 shots was 251 feet per second.
That gives a kinetic energy of 61 foot-pounds, enough to bring down a black bear, let alone an inmate.
Rest 251. Are you ready for some penetration, Heine?
To find the most lethal arrowhead, they'll fire a variety at a block of ballistics wax from a distance of 15 feet. About the width of the prison corridor in the paper crossbow myth. For starters, they'll use a standard arrowhead.
All right, let's bring your tape measure over. So, with the target tip, it penetrated 6 inches.
Yeah.
6 inches of penetration. Not bad. Next, they try a 4-bladed razor tip used for hunting.
This one went 6.5 inches.
Next, a cut-on-contact broadhead.
All right.
It's a traditional hunting tip, as old as the Stone Age.
Oh, that went a lot farther, man.
So about 8 inches.
About 8 inches. That's good, because that's the easiest one for us to make. With a plastic food tray.
So, what's the verdict?
Just thinking this one through from a mechanical standpoint, I'd be totally pleased with 2 inches of penetration.
Generally, I prefer a little bit more.
There's no way a paper crossbow will achieve this much penetration. So, to be lethal, it may have to be deadly accurate. The final test, just how sharp can a crossbow shoot?
So, Jamie, the key here is just tight grouping.
Okay.
From 15 feet, the distance specified in the myth, this should be a walk in the park.
Yeah, look at that. Nicely done. Wow.
Ain't gonna get much closer than that.
No, I don't think you are.
3 bolts, 1 hole, not bad. So what do we know? We know a crossbow can produce 61 foot-pounds of kinetic energy, enough to bury a hunting tip 8 inches into the eye of a deer from 15 feet.
A real crossbow is lethal, so the question is, how lethal can we make one out of paper?
The pen may be mightier than the sword, but could paper really be a match for a crossbow? Time for another vodka myth. What if you've got an infestation of bees and no commercial bee killer? According to one myth, vodka could be your solution.
One of the other vodka myths that we've heard of is that vodka could be used as a bee killer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build a bee box, basically a clear Plex box that will keep the little critters in so they don't come out and start stinging us. We'll fill this up with vodka and then spray it in there and see if it does in fact kill the bees.
For Tori, knocking up a bee box is as simple as ABC. Breathing holes will ensure that the bees don't suffocate. No point in trying to kill bees that are already dead.
All right, see see the screen right there? That's so these little buggers won't get out and try to sting me. There you go. You got a box, throw the bees in, close the lid, close the latch. I'm probably gonna tape it up just in case, and then we'll start killing bees.
Splendid. Now for a spot of bee wrangling. our intrepid trio have come to Marin County to collect some unsuspecting subjects from bee enthusiasts Lynn and Jim Archer.
We're actually working on a myth. Have you ever heard of vodka being sprayed as a bee repellent?
No.
No?
But I'm interested. That would be nice.
Do you think it'll work?
I don't know.
That's okay. Good answer.
I'm curious as you are. What do you think, honey?
It'll get them drunk.
You think they'll get a buzz?
Well, should we suit up now?
I think so.
Definitely. All right.
Yes, those bees are just waiting for you.
That's exactly what the build team are worried about, so they're not taking any chances.
All right, worst case scenario, like a whole bunch of bees get into the suit and they start stinging the heck out of us. What do you do?
Well, what you might want to remember is bees always fly up. So like when I'm up there in my overalls, you open up the top part and let them fly up and out, up and out. You know, run, first run, unzip, run, you know, pull off everything and they'll try to fly up.
So now you know.
We are ready. Take us to your leader.
Take us to your leader.
Laughing in the face of terror, our amateur apiarists are led to a busy hive.
Whoa! Yeah.
And you can see how this is all filled with honey, nectar that hasn't quite formed into honey at the moment.
Dead bees walking.
Now we're just going to put a few of them in the box. Jim's going to do it.
When is a bee a guinea pig? When it's unlucky enough to end up in Tori's bee box.
Is that good? You want more?
That's 12.
Okay.
That's good. I don't want to take too many.
The rest of the hive seem none too happy about donating their siblings to
I
science.
think these guys are calling for help.
They're starting to sound
They're riling
angry.
up the rest.
Okay, they're getting resty. You can start hearing the difference when they get a little upset.
Yeah, I hear them getting excited.
They're upset.
Yeah, they're sounding pretty pissed
Okay.
off.
Yes, thank you, little babies. That was very kind of you.
We done with this?
Trying to poke
getting
into my
mad.
head.
Brace your nose, dude.
Before things get to the running and unzipping stage, they make a quick exit. Back at the shop, the bee governor has failed to grant a last-minute reprieve, so Tori gets down to work.
I have one spray bottle filled with water, one spray bottle filled with vodka, and so now I'm going to test the myth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray 5 times into the bee box with the vodka, spray 5 times into this bee box with the water, and see how the bees respond to each. Okay, here we go. Vodka first. The bees are starting to roll around. That's terrible, they're drunk.
It's the bee bender from hell.
It looks like they're climbing the walls to get out of the liquid. So, you know, if it's gonna kill them, it could be that they're just drowning in it, and that would work with any liquid.
While they wallow in vodka, Tori sprays box 2 with an equivalent volume of plain water. Then he leads the bees to sink or swim for a quarter hour, which in bee time seems like an eternity. In the myth of the paper crossbow, Adam and Jamie have researched contraband prison weapons.
No.
Constructed a replica of a paper spear gun and performance tested a real crossbow. Now, they're ready for a MythBusters build-off.
I know you don't like the competition thing, but we're going to do a build-off here, and we're going to each build our own crossbow using only newspaper, underwear elastic, plastic food tray, and homemade glue. And then we're going to test them and see who's made the most potentially lethal and accurate paper crossbow.
Well, you know the first thing I'm going to do.
Cheat.
Yeah.
Here's the news. With just 2 days to make their deadly weapons, they've got a tool shop amnesty.
We can use any tools we want. We're not scraping this against the jail bars or anything. We're assuming there's enough time to shape and cut pretty much anything.
The homemade glue is brewed and it's on your marks.
Are you ready? I promise not to look around the barrier.
You're welcome to look at them. It'll be fine. I know I'll be looking.
All right, here we go.
Adam and Jamie rarely use paper as a building material in special effects. So it's a case of trial and error.
Normally when I build a project, I have a pretty good idea of the largest mechanical problem I've got to solve. But this one, I'm completely making up as I go along. I have no idea from 1 minute to the next what the structure is going to do or be. No idea.
In its early stages, this build is basically origami, which is like watching paint dry. So let's cover the first few hours with a music montage. And remember, don't try this one at home. Leave it to the MythBusters. Okay, that should do it. Let's check on progress.
So I've gone with a classic approach. It's very much the shape of a crossbow. I'm hoping that works. It could all just crush the moment I start.
Jamie's design is slightly more complex.
What I've decided to do is make a couple of things that are basically the same shape, and they pivot on a central axis point.
Their main problem is that newspaper has 0 tensile strength. Adam compensates by adding tightly rolled support struts, while Jamie's gone for cone shapes, reinforced with crumpled paper.
It's sort of like a honeycomb aluminum made out of paper.
By the end of the day, Adam's simple design has grown arms, legs, and wings.
I call this the Red Baron.
And he thinks it's pretty fly.
If it all goes as I think it might, it's going to have a fair amount of power to it. But you never know what Jamie's going to come up with.
Jamie's lagging behind, but he's aiming high with his ambitious design.
It may start like this, and then I'll cock it back like so. We shall see whether it actually works.
They leave their crossbow contraptions to dry overnight and hit the showers.
And remember, kids, working with newspaper can be dirty.
Tori's testing the sting in another tall tale. Vodka bee killer. He sprayed one sample with vodka and another with water, and he's back for a health check.
We're about 15 minutes into this experiment. It looks like the water bees are doing a lot worse than the vodka bees, and I don't know why that is.
Perhaps they're hard-drinking worker bees.
You know, my feeling is if the vodka was going to work as an insect killer, it would have already taken effect. The ones that are dying are actually the ones that are drowning in the vodka. I think what I'll do is just let this each of the box dry out and then come back and then do a death count.
What a fun myth this is. Even if the vodka doesn't kill them, tomorrow they're gonna wish it had.
Hey, so how'd it go with the vodka and the water with the bees?
The two things that I noticed when I started the experiment is one, when I sprayed the vodka in, the bees jumped out of the vodka onto the sides of the wall. So they got out of there as soon as they could. When I sprayed the water, they didn't move. They just kind of stayed there.
So the vodka was more foreign to them, like maybe they were used to the water, but the vodka's like, oh my God, we gotta get out of here.
Makes sense, but even so, it is surprising that the water bees have come off second best.
I mean, maybe they're not dead. I mean, you know, until we do a full bee autopsy, I think we can't decide if they're dead yet. Look at that guy. I think he's still alive. Why don't you do some, BCPR, BPR?
All right, we'll pull these guys out, see if we can revive some of them, and then we'll count the bodies.
Sounds like some kind of B-grade horror movie. With the water bees in need of immediate attention, they get the hairdryer treatment.
Did it come out with a little beehive hairdo?
Oh, behave. At first, all seems lost, but Grant and Tori keep believing, and slowly a little miracle starts to unfold.
Hey, I got 2 more survivors.
Apparently, bees have a waxy coating on the thorax, so though drenched, they weren't drowned.
That's pretty amazing. All but 2 came back to life.
Your BCPR was truly a thing to behold. You're like a bee whisperer.
Why, thank you.
And while the water bees were toweling off, the vodka bees were sobering up.
Hey, check out these guys. These guys are kicking ass.
No, I mean, aside from maybe a little bit of a hangover, they seem to be doing just fine.
They're looking a lot better than I do after a hangover.
Wow, dude, that's amazing. I thought the ones that we sprayed with water were all dead. We got all but 2 revived.
Yeah, and the vodka ones, we didn't even need to revive them. We didn't lose a single bee.
So vodka is a bee killer?
Totally busted.
Busted.
With a capital B. It's day 2 in the paper crossbow build-off, and the MythBusters are up bright and early to see how their creations have fared overnight. Adam's raring to go.
I'm psyched. I don't think I should have any problem being ready for a test fire. Soon.
Either Jamie's playing the tortoise to Adam's hare, or he's just plain slow. Either way, he's talking a good race.
These things have had time to dry overnight, and they seem pretty strong. They've got good compressive strength.
Strength-wise, first rate. But Jamie's having second thoughts about his ambitious design.
The main thing that I'm worried about at this point is the mechanical complexity of this, because there's every possibility that these things are going to tend to want to go every which way but where I want them to go.
While Jamie struggles on, Adam shoots ahead. He braids his bowstring from the underwear elastic, then moves on to the bolt construction stage.
I don't expect my newspaper shaft to do any of the penetration. I think that all the penetration is going to be done by this, my impossibly long lunge tray killer. Are you ready, Jamie?
Put simply, no, he's not.
This thing's turning out to be a little bit unstable. I'm not really sure what to do about it. So basically, I don't have anything to say about it. I'm trying to fuss with it.
While Jamie's in a flap, Adam's flying. With time to spare, he uses the remains of his dinner tray to add a bona fide firing mechanism. A genuine crossbow in under 2 days, made only from newspaper, underwear, and a prison food tray. No wonder he's pleased.
I can't wait to shoot this thing.
Meanwhile, Jamie's been forced into a retreat, and he's locked down all moving parts. With time running out, he adds support struts to strengthen his now rigid 4-cone structure.
I'm just having one last go at it to see whether I can't optimize the performance of it and reduce the likelihood of some kind of general collapse. I'm pretty sure at a certain point, this whole thing's just gonna be a wad of paper.
Adam's already at work on the set.
It is the perfect prison color. I call this lockdown green. One prison door. You can't keep me in here, copper. I'm gonna get out.
With only minutes remaining, Jamie fashions a plastic bolt and attaches the bowstring.
Well, time to walk away.
According to the myth, the paper crossbow killer unleashed his deadly missile from behind his cell door. 15 feet away, it struck and killed its target, played by inmate Imahara.
All right, well, where are we supposed to, are we gonna try and shoot him in the head?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna try and hurt somebody, you know, shooting them in the face.
No sooner said than done. For a control, Adam fires off a headshot from a regular crossbow.
3, 2, 1.
Nice shot.
I shot Grant in the face.
The chronograph measures 251 feet per second, and at 61 foot-pounds of force, that's a carbon copy of the archery shop results.
I got it right in his left nostril. Dude, that is so going right in his nose. You gotta come here and check this out. What are you doing there, Grant?
That's some hard stuff.
Oh.
That only going in that far, ours are just gonna bounce off that sucker.
Well, 3 1/4 inches of penetration.
So, a fatal shot?
With a commercial crossbow, inmate Imahara would definitely be cold dead.
That's the benchmark. So how will the MythBusters paper versions measure up? Time to lift the veil on their closely guarded contenders.
I have not yet seen Jamie's design. I'm always fascinated by our different approaches to problems like these.
Actually, I've been watching what Adam's been doing the entire time, in spite of the rules against doing that. You know, without having rules to break, there'd be no particular interest in the competition for me.
I think it's time to see what each other's built. Dude, if the full draw of the bow makes it collapse, is candy gonna pour out?
I'm sorry, I've already tried it. I've shot it a few times. It's
Oh,
great.
really?
No, I'm kidding. Wow, that's pretty good.
Could Jamie be staring down the barrel of a rare defeat?
Adams, you could like use as a club and it'd probably be just fine. You could still shoot it. This thing, I could just go like that and break it in half with my hands. So I have my doubts about this.
Jamie, are you ready to shoot?
I'm gonna shoot.
Don't sound so thrilled about it. You'll freak people out.
Strictly speaking, a prison assassin would have just one shot. Jamie takes dead aim through his cell door's dinner hatch.
Are you ready on high speed?
Ready. Ready.
All right. Seems to be holding up. Okay. When you're ready, Jamie.
60.
60.
Well, that ain't half bad, really.
No.
A real crossbow was what, 250?
Yeah, 60 feet per second. Arrows flying nice and straight. Watch it hit the target.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The bolt bounced off inmate Imahara's head before hitting the target behind. It's an unexpectedly impressive result. A bolt from the blue, you might say.
I was actually pretty pleased with the first shot on this thing. I think it did considerably better than the one that we saw that the prisoners had made. So far, so good. I think we can get a little bit more speed out of it, and I think it's actually kind of deadly if you hit somebody in exactly the right spot.
Time for a quick vodka myth.
To help keep my family's bathroom fresh, I fight bowl stains and odors with Dependo Automatic Toilet Bowl Cleaner.
Can you pass me a towel? Thanks.
Tori's found himself in a nasty mess.
You get a shot of that floor. What the hell is that?
And yes, it's his job to clean it.
What did you do today? I cleaned the producer's bathroom. That's what I did.
You've guessed it. It's vodka versus a commercial cleaning agent. Tori divides the bath in two. First up, the vodka and some elbow grease. Then the commercial cleaner.
Oh, my mom's gonna be proud.
Job done. So, what's the verdict?
You know, to say one is better than the other, I would have to say the commercial brand is better. However, if all you had was vodka to clean your bathroom, I think you'd be all right.
Jamie's paper crossbow has confounded the critics. His very first shot struck inmate Imahara at 60 feet per second.
People were giving me a hard time saying, you know, wow, is candy gonna fall out of that thing? It looks like a piñata. But it has actually held up. With a little bit more practice, maybe a little refinement on the device, it could quite possibly do some serious damage to somebody.
Happy days. Jamie tightens his bow and loads another bolt.
Good. Let's go again. 68 feet per second.
Okay. It hit his head. It looked like it hit just to the left of his right eye. It still went sideways.
Okay, I think this is done. You can see the crinkle starting to form here. We actually got quite a few shots out of it, though, and close to 70 feet a second, is it? That's not half bad.
Jamie's crossbow has shot its bolt. So, what's the verdict?
While I can't say that this particular device is lethal based on what I've seen today, I can tell you that I would not want to get hit in the eye with one of these things, and if I did, I might die.
He might, but calculations show that the kinetic energy of Jamie's fastest bolt was just 4 foot-pounds. compared to 60 foot-pounds for a real crossbow. Time for a scientific timeout.
I found a chart that lists the kinetic energy in foot-pounds of the average amount that you need to take down certain kinds of game. Less than 25 foot-pounds of kinetic energy is only good for small game. 25 to 41, medium game, like deer or antelope. 42 to 65 foot-pounds, large game, like elk and black bear. And above 66 foot-pounds, we're talking the toughest game, grizzly, buffalo, and that kind of thing.
Well, I would say that a human would qualify as medium game, actually, because, you know, a full-size deer can weigh as much or more than a human.
So, according to the official numbers, Jamie's paper crossbow could only bring down small game, notwithstanding a 1 in a million right in the eye shot. Over to Adam, our second would-be assassin.
All right, I am ready to fire my crossbow, which I have nicknamed the Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher sounds about right. For this myth to be plausible, Adam must combine more power with deadly accuracy. And he must do it with his very first shot.
All right, Grant. Going for the neck. In 3, 2, 1.
Yay! Good shot.
Woo! 85 feet per second, baby.
Yay!
It hit him right in the neck, man. Oh, man, look at that. Right in the jugular. That's a full inch of penetration there.
Yeah, and if anything, this is more dense than a human as far as I'm concerned. Good shot, good aim, and it actually went in quite deeply.
I'm totally psyched. That was awesome.
I think if I were going to try and hit somebody that would, in a place that would kill them, that'd be one choice.
Yeah, right in the jugular would be near the top of your list. It's an amazing result. But how about the kinetic energy? Was it enough to be a killer bolt?
I also come out with a total amount of foot-pounds expended by the projectile of 7.5, which is pretty much, by what I've been reading, good for small game, not necessarily good for bringing down a full-size human.
Yeah, but you hit that guy right in the jugular, and, you know, that's enough to kill somebody. It went in a solid inch.
Oh, yeah.
Small game, weapon or not, if you hit somebody like that, they're gone.
There we go.
In the interests of science and shooting stuff,
91.
Adam pushes his paper crossbow to the limit.
What did I hit?
You shot the apple box.
All right, going again.
Yeah. I think we've exhausted all of the power of this thing. But I got up to 91.
In the end, like Jamie, he could never quite match the high of that very first hit.
I think it's notable that both his and my crossbows performed much better on their first and second shots than they did ever again. That's a real key part of this myth. Making a paper crossbow, it's a one-shot deal. I mean, maybe you can hide this somewhere, but as soon as you shoot it, they're gonna know you have it. So you better get it right on the first shot.
Which is exactly what he did, making Adam the undisputed paper crossbow champion.
Adam, what do you think we should call this one? I mean, we can't call it confirmed because we couldn't find a single case where somebody had actually been killed by a paper crossbow.
We couldn't even turn up one where someone had been seriously injured by a paper crossbow. I'm actually super impressed with the amount of power we got out of these on our first attempt at it. I mean, 7.5 foot-pounds. Granted, that's far under the 25 foot-pounds that was recommended for bringing down medium-sized game, but still, my shot at inmate Imahara's throat, I think would have brought him down. I'm really leaning towards plausible.
Yeah, that was a lucky shot. I guess, you know, accuracy is the key here, and you get a small, sharp object going pretty quick. It's plausible.
Yeah, I think it's plausible. Unlikely.